Send a powerful message to those people who live in the past and tell them no more business as usual and no more repeat performances because we're going to make America great again.
Hey everyone, welcome once again to yet another episode of Two Noobs Talking. It's episode 55, of course, with my good buddy John Tracy. How you doing, John?
How are you, sir?
I am good. I am Matt Craig. Happy you are with us. And, John, as we hit year 2 of Two Noobs Talking, we've got some numbers, of course. I mean, there were a lot of people that wore
a ton.
55 in the city of Philadelphia. Most notably, I think the guy we got to hit at the top of the list is a guy that we kind of overlooked when he was drafted, but
well,
2017 made the greatest play in Philadelphia Eagles history to win us the Super Bowl.
Let Philly speak for themselves. I don't think me and you were overlooking that man. That man, University of Michigan. That dude could
Brandon
play.
Graham, yeah, my God.
One of the best.
And we miss him along that defensive line right now. Let me tell you, this year, good grief.
Absolutely.
Just amazing.
And another one, Dahani Jones. Good
bow tie.
Good buddy of mine. Know him well. Great dude. Hope he's doing well.
I guess
Dahani, if you see this, retweet us, please.
There you go.
It would help. Love that guy. One of my favorite humans. Like, good football player. Great football player, actually. Giants, Eagles, Cincinnati. Great football player. But
I think it was 8,
from what I got to know, great human being.
Yeah.
Absolute great human being.
Does he have his bow tie? Was it like he had like a
he had a business going for a long time. I don't know if he's still doing it, but he definitely did. He was selling bow ties and supporting a ton of charities. Like,
oh yeah, my gosh, yeah.
He is a top-notch human being.
Yeah, he's a good dude. Yeah, no doubt about that. And of course, like for the Phillies, Ranger Suarez. Now, I mean, let's briefly talk about him. What a humongous find for the Phillies,
the best pitcher on the Phillies this year.
Heck yeah,
bar none. Bar none.
Yeah.
I mean, Wheeler was Wheeler.
Yeah.
And Nola was Nola.
Yep.
But Suarez was phenomenal.
Yeah. You needed that kind of back end, so it's going to be interesting to see if they bring him up.
Yeah.
Maybe to the third spot behind who knows, or maybe possibly to overtake Nola. Who knows? We'll see. Great pitcher. Yeah. But then, of course, on the hockey side of things, Johnny,
yes.
we had your boy Ed Jovanovski.
Yeah.
I remember
want Ed Jovanovski to play on your team. Like
exactly. I remember years ago there were rumors the Flyers were going after him so hard in the draft.
That was when he got traded from Vancouver to Florida.
Mm-hmm.
That was when he got traded. Yeah,
or it was Florida, Vancouver, or whatever. Yeah.
Who wouldn't want Ed Jovanovski on your team back then?
Yeah.
What a player!
Such a great player. Then we had Chris Gratton, of course. We had him
only with the Flyers. Wore 77 everywhere else, but
yeah,
only with the Flyers he wore 55. And then the prodigal son of Two Noobs, Primo.
Yeah.
Wore 55 with everybody but the Flyers.
So now we're going to have to ask Steve about that because
trivia question there.
What made Keith go from 55 to 25? Was it Gratton? I don't think so.
I don't know. I don't know the time frame, but
yeah, I know it was around 2000, 2001 when we traded for him. So I wonder if there was somebody on the team at the time that wore it. I don't think it was Gratton, but I think it might have been.
To be honest with you, I just think it's greatness from other towns. Like you wear 25 because Tommy wore 25, so you just wear 25 when you have no other option.
No other option. 25. Go for it.
25 is the way to go. Apparently,
might as well.
I can't think of anybody else that ever wore 25.
Exactly.
Other than Jim Thome and
LaShawn. Yeah.
Oh yeah, but he did that. Chip Kelly screwed that all up.
No, I mean,
greatest running back ever to play for the Eagles that didn't play for the Eagles for.
I have an idea. Let's trade him away. Really? for a ridiculous linebacker? Oh, get out of here.
Speaking of assholes like Chip Kelly, we should probably get into our first topic.
Oh my gosh, yeah. This topic one. Obviously, what's on everyone's mind here. I'm just going to flash this up on screen. The NIH admitting to gain of function, John. They basically
They
admitted
admitted to it.
accidentally that they found gain of function happening at the Wuhan Institute of Virology.
Liar.
Well, fake news all you want. It's being reported that way. So, I mean,
They're lying.
check your source.
Yeah, they're lying.
I mean, what are your thoughts on that, real quick? I mean,
We
it's
knew it.
just so yeah.
We've been saying it. The funny part is this comes out, and then right after this comes out,
Yeah.
the Post runs a story about the Fauci run scientist on the beagles, where he was having insects eat them alive to see how blah 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 blah. Yeah, dude. If this is an indication that the NIH was so criminal in just they were doing so many terrible experiments, it's just starting to come out. And trust me, you can trust us. Like we're not this is no political gain for us. Like this is getting deeper and deeper and deeper.
It really is, because if you stop to think about it, we have a Vanity Fair article. Again, we're going to flash this up on screen and we'll have it in our show notes. But I wanted to kind of read a couple of major quotes from this article for you and kind of get your thoughts on it, Johnny. It really is amazing that Vanity Fair is reporting this. Like, they're not hiding this at all. This is something that they're not covering for the NIH at all. But it basically talks about, I'm just trying to pull it up here real quick, talking about the letter that the NIH released. The letter did not mention the phrase gain of function research that has become so centered in bitter clashes over COVID-19's origins. Review system established in 2017 requires federal agencies to particularly scrutinize any research proposals that involve enhancing a pathogen's infectiousness to humans. Which, John, can we stop to think about before I continue? Why? It boggles my freaking mind. Why we have money going to a Chinese virology lab to study gain of function research? Why are we even thinking about doing something like this to predict the next pandemic? And we got it.
Well, here's the thing.
What are we doing, John?
You got to take it back even before that, because there hasn't been a pandemic since 1918. So why were they doing this in the early 2000s, late 1900s? Why was this being funded then?
Yeah.
It almost, like, to be honest, like, you almost got to think they were trying to create a pandemic more than they were trying to predict a pandemic.
I agreed.
You're just being nonsensical in science and doing dumb shit.
Yeah.
Like this is what creates a pandemic. I'm not saying they forcibly were creating the pandemic. What I'm saying is accidentally you're going to create a pandemic when you're doing dumb shit like gain of function research in a Chinese lab where there isn't even half the laws of scientific treatment of viruses that the United States have. You're sending it off to China where they don't have any laws.
Yeah. Yeah. It's carte blanche. Whatever goes on there in that communist state goes on there. They don't
have people coming in and checking on which virus they're doing, whether it's well contained, the Riddler just died. Perfect. Perfect for what we're talking about.
For what we're talking about here.
He's down and out.
Exactly.
Down and out. It's over. We got him.
Might be.
The Riddler's done.
Johnny, this is amazing. Like, again, from the Vanity Fair article, Alina Chan, Boston-based scientist, co-author of the book Viral, The Search for the Origin of COVID, said the NIH was in a, quote, very challenging position. They funded research internationally to help study novel pathogens and prevent against them. But they had no way to know what viruses had been collected, what experiments had been conducted, and what accidents might have occurred. Really?
My exact point.
Yeah.
You don't know when you're shipping things off to China. Why do you think? Okay. John. Why do you think manufacturers send things over to China? Because it's cheaper and they don't have the labor laws and they don't have the people scrutinizing them, so they can get their Nike products out way quicker. China,
right here.
Yeah. iPhones. All your Nike stuff.
Yep.
But Whirlpool for a long time since they just moved back last year. But Whirlpool was in China. You probably every single thing that I'm touching right now for this podcast is probably made in China because it's sold at either Walmart or Best Buy. Because it's cheaper and there isn't laws to say that they can make it from products that are unsafe. Because the communist government doesn't give a flying bleep about people and what they're doing with the products. They're just making them and selling them.
Yeah. It's still, though, to me, John, it really boggles my mind that we're even remotely trying to think about or create something like this, and grant money, taxpayer money, is going something, we have to invent. Why do we? That to me, as a doc, I'm not a doctor, of course, but as a doctor who signed a Hippocratic oath to protect people from said diseases and whatnot, why would you authorize that? Like, what would possess someone to do something like that? Maybe I'm thinking way outside the box here, but it's like, I don't understand. Because
the money's right?
The rationale behind it. Yeah, I don't know.
Because he's not doing... Here's the thing of why he's such a shitty person. We're talking about Fauci.
Yeah.
Because he's not doing the experiments himself. He's taking money from people that want to do these experiments, evil people, a la Microsoft man, because we know their relationship. And he is the villain in all comic books in the real world. Gates is definitely that dude.
Oh, for sure.
That dude wants to kill everybody just to see what would happen.
He's a henchman. There's no question about it. Yeah.
But they have a friendship. I'm sure he was taking money right from the Microsoft. Taking money, but if Fauci's not doing it, it's not affecting Fauci's family. Why does Fauci give a fuck about anybody? That's it. He's shown that to you on TV the whole time. He doesn't fucking care. He has Thanksgiving with people. He has Christmas with people. He goes to dinners. He's not wearing a fucking mask.
He's not wearing a mask.
What he does is he'll go on fucking CNN and tell you that you can't.
Oh, that's it's too soon to tell, and
that's who he is. He's just a piece of shit.
Yeah, exactly. And this kind of leads into our topic number 2, Johnny, of course, with another one of our famous Fab 5 updates. And of course, the big trending thing going on right now on Twitter, that piece of trash, arrest Fauci, is trending worldwide. How about that, John? I mean,
thank God.
He called to resign him? Absolutely. Yeah. And of course, he's been wrong before. He's been wrong tremendously when it comes to COVID and predicting it. We've seen, of course, the college football games. We've seen NFL football games. We've seen the MLB games, playoff games, all outdoors.
Well, it's going even further than that. It's going
super spreader.
Worldwide, the vaccine protest in France, the vaccine protest in Ireland, the vaccine protest in Australia. The COVID is not popping up there, and there's millions and millions of people hanging out together. By the way, chanting "Let's go, Brandon" or "Fuck Joe Biden," whatever side of the alley you're on.
You want to go?
Yeah, whatever side of the alley you're on.
Yeah.
But it's literally that's what's happening all over the world, and this disease, like you've showed me with I think it was a Wall Street Journal article.
Yeah,
everything is doing what a general flu or a new flu, which we can call this, it's starting to track down at this point.
It really is amazing, because we're going to flash this real quick on screen for the video viewers here. On the audio side, what we're showing here is basically a graph that is through Wall Street Journal. In fact, I'll throw also the web address on here on our screens below as well.
Yes, please do. And if you're watching us on audio, you need to see this. So please, just YouTube, Two Noobs Talking.
Two Noobs Talking podcast. Check us out there.
We have it all, also show notes. We have them in twonewstalking.wordpress.com. Like, you can find us.
Yeah.
And
this is amazing. You start to see this John, it's starting to precipitously go down again. 20%.
Actually deeper than it was in 2020 at this time.
Yeah. 2020, we were on the way up. Now we're on the way back down again. And of course, Fauci has no idea. He was predicting, oh my God, we're going to have super spreader events everywhere. And guess what? The opposite, the inverse opposite of what's happening.
Well, isn't that everything that he says?
Well, yeah.
Anything that he says goes.
Because he riddles, and that's what he does, John.
You can't follow anything he says.
No.
He's an idiot.
No. And so I think there's a combination. Could the vaccines? Yeah, but I think there's also natural immunity. You look at some of these states, and again, I'll throw this up on screen because what the Wall Street Journal has done is they track everything from, it's the CDC and Johns Hopkins, so they collaborate that together. They throw it up on here on screen. And so what you're seeing right now is a picture of the United States of America. And look at the South, John. The South is pretty much, you're looking at maybe 10, 12 cases per 100,000. I mean, it is literally nothing, next to nothing going on in Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, Mississippi, where you were at one point. Texas is not doing anything. And even up here in Pennsylvania, you're talking maybe about 20 to 30 cases.
But that's also the thing that I would like to, that I don't think is understood very well by people is the South and the North are completely two different entities. Mm-hmm. You are so much closer together in the North, East, than you are in the rest of the country. Mm-hmm. I don't think that the news media doesn't ever want to report that, or ever scientists don't even want to put that out there and understand that. You're on top of each, like New York, Philadelphia, even Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Washington, D.C. Yeah.
Ohio, Washington, D.C., Boston, Massachusetts.
Yep.
Virginia, in a way, in the northern part of Virginia. It's very close together. But when you start to get to South, houses aren't that close together.
Start to spread apart a little bit more.
Close together. It's more land, less people.
Exactly.
And that's why you're seeing
the
COVID drop so much down south. It's not necessarily that it's one thing or the other. It's just you need to understand that kind of global understanding of the United States because of course Texas is less than Pennsylvania. It's bigger.
Yeah.
It's simple.
Yeah. Texas, really the rest of the United States. I get it. And even Texas dwarfs the United States, that kind of.
But it's just bigger. So
it is. Yeah.
It's not. You're not running the same numbers.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. That's such a key point because it's like population density has a lot to do with it, but I think there's also a lot of things too. The closest that you see also in the states and in the cities up here in the Northeast, let's face it, this virus has been hanging around here for about a year and a half.
Yeah. And it's going to continue.
Taking some people away, yes. Yeah. But let's face it, a lot more people are coming out of the hospital having beaten this disease either through monoclonal antibodies or through the vaccine or through Merck's drugs or through a cocktail of all kinds of different things going on there. So
I mean, we've seen so many brilliant ways to beat this virus. At this point, this is the point that this Fab Five segment, I think we need to take it to being happy.
Yes.
Because we've gotten to the point where there are so many. We had Dr. Page on, and he had a huge rate of success.
Yeah.
This one doctor out of all the doctors in the world, he was happy to report that he had a great success treating this. Absolutely. He didn't have I mean, I'm sure he lost some people along the way, and I'm pretty sure that, he wishes that he didn't. Mm-hmm. Great man doing great things. But he had an amazing number of successes.
No doubt.
And this is the funny part, because Fauci and the media they don't want to produce that. They don't want to talk about that.
Yeah.
That we've done good.
Yeah, exactly. All they're concerned about.
Because we haven't beaten it yet. But we are beating it.
That's the thing, John. All they are concerned about, and I made this mention to my parents last night at dinner. I said, anytime you hear the word, well, we got to get to 70%, we got to get to 80% vaccination. That's a quota.
It's a quota.
I've made that argument, and I still stand by that because I truly believe in order for them to hit this natural immunity, whatever that is, you have to hit 70% of vaccinations. Well, I would say to Dr. Fauci and all these quack doctors that are out there that were pushing for this, More than half of the
governors.
country right now is vaccinated. We're beating this virus. I'm sorry to rain on your parade here.
What is it? 58%, 58%?
I think it is 58%.
And you're seeing natural immunity already. And Rand Paul's been talking about this for more than 6 months.
Yeah.
That you
Bill.com,
can't.
by the way, he wants Fauci arrested immediately.
Oh yeah, he absolutely does.
couldn't
And
agree
that's the start of the arrest Fauci kind of thing.
Yeah.
But he was talking at 48%.
Yeah.
Rand Paul was talking about that natural immunity is going to take over. He was saying 50, and he's a medical doctor.
Yeah.
Fauci's not a medical doctor. Rand Paul is a medical doctor.
Mm-hmm.
Rand Paul was talking, he was going for 50% vaccination, 50%
Yeah.
natural immunity.
Natural immunity.
If you had it, you probably don't need the vaccine, but if you want the vaccine, take the vaccine.
Can take it.
That's kind of where Rand Paul was talking about. Turns out Rand Paul's right if
Yeah.
you're looking at it, because we're at 58%
Yeah.
and everything's going down.
Yeah, exactly.
So we're 8% over what a medical doctor was saying.
Exactly.
A quack doctor, an idiot. We've already I can be a fake doctor too. We already did this last episode.
Exactly.
He's telling us we can't have Thanksgiving.
Well, whatever floats his boat, but to be perfectly honest, I mean, the family's already made that decision.
Exactly.
We're having it, and
the United
everyone
States
else should have it too.
Yeah, everybody should be doing that because listening to that asshole about anything.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the guy should be in a straitjacket and in a mental institution.
Yeah,
I mean, really,
he needs to be arrested.
It's to that point, really, because it's like you can't trust anything he has said. And I think he also walked into that himself. All the different media appearances over the last year and a half.
There's too many. He's too many.
It's
you
too
don't,
much.
You don't overexpose yourself like that. And
yeah,
he did.
exactly.
Overexposed himself as a fucking fraud. And that's exactly what he is.
That's exactly what he is, yeah. Well, let's move away from that, Johnny. Let's rip a little big tech, shall we? Topic.
Oh, dude, I love this. This is one of my favorites.
You know, I don't know if you've noticed, but Facebook's been under fire recently. I don't know if you've noticed this, John, but
which is hilarious because someone probably stepped down because Facebook's actually running really well right now.
Exactly.
Stop their
really is
criminal
amazing.
behavior.
Like I remember the one day they were completely shut down, and everybody was like, "Oh my god, this is great!" You know, it was like it was
awesome.
It was wonderful.
Yeah, it was awesome. So they're changing their name because they're saying they're changing their name for one reason. But they're changing their name because they've settled, I think, $1.6 billion lawsuit with the federal government just recently. Yeah, they're trying to change their name. While people are quitting Facebook, running out, telling you stories about how much of a corrupt organization they were.
Yeah, exactly.
And let's make sure this gets on Facebook because that would just be funny.
New York Post, of course, they're doing this to shake off the scandal. Whatever.
Yeah, the scandal. No, it was $1.6 billion that they had to pay.
Yeah, swing and a miss. Yeah, besides, there are all the different types. Not just that, John, but just the data breaches that they've
Instagram
stumbled through.
Yeah.
And all this kind of stuff.
Instagram too. So
yeah,
they were everything that they own. I think they own like 3 or 4. Like I know they own Facebook, Instagram, and they own the WhatsApp app.
WhatsApp and Oculus.
Okay, so they own all
virtual
that.
reality.
So yeah, all of them have had the trouble. Have you noticed that TikTok?
No.
Hasn't had issues.
Really?
At all? Never been shut down. Never it's not like it's. It's where everybody's going.
Wow. They are apparently, now according to the New York Post here, this is very interesting. Last month, Facebook unveiled its latest product. A pair of Ray-Ban smart glasses, John. A product Zuckerberg previously said it's part of its company push to build a metaverse company. So the rumor is that right now they're going to be calling themselves Metaverse, which is trash. You know, at the end of the day, it's just terrible.
I mean, if they just delete Facebook, I think everybody would just go on with their lives. It's not that big of a deal.
When you have Time Magazine, I sent you this the other day. When you have Time Magazine cover story with Zuckerberg looking like a freaking alien, and you see delete Facebook, and the choice is either cancel or delete. I said, delete that subbitch.
Why Why hasn't he got together with Bezos and flown back to his home planet? I don't know. Steve's got to talk this up because he's a part of the space race.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Now, but
Why
here's
is
we also have
allowed
this.
on your ship?
Yeah. We also have this very interesting article. The former president, Donald Trump, launching his own social media, ironically called Truth. Now you could take to what it was.
But he's going right wing.
let's talk about this because social media has had its ups and downs, mostly downs.
I'll give you 100% reading on the whole thing. It's color all over again.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Facebook like app that allows people to say shit that Facebook doesn't want you because Facebook's very democratic. I understand it. Yep. Trump's doing what exactly Trump has always done. He's playing to the right-wing base because the right-wing base is the ones that are totally involved with this stuff. They want to have a say. And you don't, and honesty is honesty. You don't get the same on any, and I've noticed this with platforms because I've made right-wing points. I've made left-wing points on Facebook. Mm-hmm. I've gotten banned on Facebook for right-wing points. I haven't got banned on Facebook left point. There is a bias in this world.
Yes.
There really
it would be nice if they admitted to it.
If you just admitted to it and had to, Dan Bongino's right in the one thing is for shit to work in this world is we need to have double platforms because sitting around arguing all the time doesn't work.
Right. And especially
it doesn't work. So
when you're trying to have
starting truth is great. It's great because the right-wing conservatives, like the far right wing, have a place where they can go and they can do what they do, shit on everybody else and be like, you're not as cool as we are because we're right-wing conservatives. And then you can have your left-wing liberals that sit on Facebook and go, you're not as cool as us because we're left-wing.
We have the Facebook.
And then the fucking middle people like us will be on Instagram whenever the fuck we want. We'll watch TikTok. We'll produce a fucking podcast and think you're both fucking assholes. I'm totally cool with that.
I'm totally cool with that too. Yeah. I mean, I can understand the frustration as well because it's like if you're trying to have a conversation on Facebook. Hey, I mean, let's just put the devil's advocate out there, Johnny, right? You're trying to have a debate against a left winger on Facebook, and you can't as a right-wing conservative, if you put a point out there, chances are it's going to get deleted.
But either or it's going to get knocked down.
Yeah, and how frustrating is that if you're trying to make that connection?
But that's what I mean. Like I'm not for segregation in schools, but I'm definitely segregations in social media. Because
I would say
in social media, you can't hurt anything. Like
I think we're at a point now, to be honest with you. I mean, the moment I got off of Twitter was like the greatest thing I ever did.
Yeah.
And it's like, I think we're at a point now where we have to start thinking about really coming up with ways to limit use on social media. Just your own best practices.
It's the revoking Section 230. As soon as you revoke 230, and this is
that's your
my heart. It's been my heart for years. You know that.
No doubt about that.
Revoking that from social media takes the godlike complex from them because they can be sued for anything. They are held as liable as every other entity in the world. If you trip and fall in front of Target, you can sue Target. If you trip and fall on Facebook, you can't sue Facebook.
No.
Because they are covered by Section 230.
Yeah. Yeah. The only thing that they're really being sued over right now is their data breaches. That's it.
Well, also the fact that Zuckerberg has lied.
Through his teeth.
A million different judiciary committees. He's gonna have to pay for that. He's one of him and Dorsey are some of the biggest liars on the planet.
No question.
They play the common 1990 CEO of, well, I don't know what's going on. That's my VP of idiocy.
Yes.
They get fired. He's fine. I know how to play the game.
Yeah.
And that's what they're doing. They're playing the game.
Yeah, no doubt.
That's what they're doing. Darcy's up there lying to Congress because he knows it's not going to. What are they going to do? Take Twitter away from him? They're not going to take his money away.
What was
They're
the
only
one
gonna
thing
take
that,
Twitter.
oh yeah, like one of the representatives recently at the U.S. House was banned from Twitter for tweeting about Rachel Levine, the new 4-star admiral, whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
And it was like, dude,
That's not real life.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what? It's like, could he have maybe had a different choice of words? Maybe, but at the same time, it's like it's his words. He's responsible for that.
My whole thing with social media is don't be a dick about it.
Yeah.
But I mean, at some point, and trust me, I know, at some point on social media, you have to be a dick about it.
Oh yeah.
And if you get banned, you get banned. Like that's not real life.
Yeah.
That's my whole point to this.
Yeah.
Facebook is
I
not
think
real
too,
life.
I think too, Johnny, I was interesting because I'm a big fan of AD Robles on Patreon and YouTube. He's a Christian commentator. He's terrific. He's really good, sarcastic, kind of like us, with us.
He said some things to me. Yeah, I love it.
He's really good. He was saying really what we have to do, I think, is not be so serious all the time and have fun.
So Ben Shapiro and Joe Rogan have said the same things.
Yeah. We
Like,
do.
It's so much like stop being so. Well, we should be angry about Fauci and the fact that he was eating dogs alive with insects.
That's totally wrong. Yeah,
that's well. Also, gain of function research is wrong because you're trying to kill humans with your viruses. Like that shit isn't kosher. It's not okay. It's not okay. It's illegal. Well, why do you think they're doing #arrest Fauci?
Exactly.
It's illegal.
Why do you think the Riddler jumped off of your right? He's dead. He's done.
If I had 2 cameras, maybe we could do it in edit. Hold on, let me get a secondary camera out. We can video the death of the Riddler. Maybe fit that in on a secondary camera.
There you go.
We'll get some music in there. Look, he's dead. There we go. We shot extra footage for you guys on TV.
There you go. We'll throw that on TikTok. There you go.
As my microphone is falling off. So, Matt, please go on to the next
No,
thing.
but I was just, I mean, it's amazing. Like, I think it's a matter of really just having, if you have a good attitude, have fun on social media, poke fun, laugh, enjoy the time, all that kind of stuff. Don't try and be as serious as the news wants you to be, that kind of a deal. That's a huge step forward, I think. That's a big change in your attitude, that kind of a deal. Well, while you're kind of reorienting your microphone there, John, I'm going to reintroduce.
I'm like rebuilding this whole thing, actually.
Rebuilding the whole thing? Oh, gosh. We're going to bring back an old favorite of ours, the Stop the Tape segment. How about that? We debuted this, of course, back in the day with Chris Cuomo. We had a lot of fun with that.
Sorry.
But we also we just found like a terrific clip of Senator Jason Kelsey of the Philadelphia Eagles. And he was asked about primarily, really, the whole situation involving Ben Simmons and the Sixers and the whole contract issue and whether or not he's going to play and all that kind of stuff. And really the topic came up of how do players in the city of Philadelphia respond to the media and to fans when they get criticized. How do you win those fans over, essentially? So I'm going to go ahead and share this here because I think this was just an amazing clip. So we're going to just go ahead and just play the beginning part. And John, if you want to just tell me when to stop the tape, we'll stop the tape.
All right, we'll just make it big and we'll go for it.
Let's do it. Here we go.
In terms of professional athletes, you've been here long enough to see the relationships go good and bad. What's the difference between those two? The ones who survive and thrive in Philadelphia and the ones who don't.
Yeah, that's a great question. Obviously being a good player helps out.
Stop the tape right there.
Yeah.
That's absolutely 100%. You have to be to speak in the city. You have to be a good player.
You really do.
Like you can't. You have to be good at what your job is.
Right.
That's what I'm like. Greg Dobbs has the same carte blanche as Ryan Howard because Greg Dobbs is good at his job as Ryan Howard was good at his job.
Yeah, and that's such a great point because Greg Dobbs in 08 was one of the best pinch hitters in all of baseball.
I think
coming off the bench and getting that key hit to turn the lineup over. You need that at the bottom of the order. And he was able to do that beautifully.
If he said something against the fans wouldn't be upset because they know he's great at his job. Same thing with Jimmy Rollins calling us fair weather fans before the World Series. Mm-hmm. You know what? Jimmy's good at what he does. Jimmy might be right.
Think about Aaron Rowland.
Talent. First of all, we respect talent.
No doubt. Yeah, that's a huge step forward. All right, moving on.
You win a Super Bowl and have the game-winning touchdown, you're going to be pretty loved.
Talking about Zach Ertz.
Yeah. We miss him. Oh my God, he's going to be great for the Cardinals. Cardinals just picked up a terrific tight end.
Great player.
Yeah. All right.
Appreciates accountability. Appreciates people being very honest, real, emotionally invested, caring. I think there's a lot of people that say it's a hard place to play. I think it's pretty easy, to be honest with you. You just go out there, play hard. You want to be loved in the city as a baseball player, run to first base. They're going to love you. I mean, that's what it comes down to. If you go up here and make a bunch of excuses, you come up here and try and lie to them and act like they don't know what they're talking about, which sometimes they don't, but that's when you really when you act that way, or when you aren't accountable if you're making mistakes or you're not getting better or anything like that, they're gonna crush you. And
stop it right there. It's genius. And every Philly sports fan will tell you, to a person, they don't know what the hell they're talking about.
Oh, sure.
But they all have an opinion.
Yeah.
And you know what? And that's okay.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's okay to we're all like that. Like that's just what Philly is. We're very passionately invested in our sports.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly in our lives. I know. No
doubt. Yeah.
I know a lot of people that don't like sports in Philly that are very invested in their lives and they have the same passion. It's a passionate place.
No doubt.
And he's absolutely right. They don't know what they're talking about some of the times, but you know what? They respect. Real recognizes real. And I think that's what that comes down to.
That's such a great point, too, because why Bryce Harper is so beloved here is because he busts his ass.
But he was also hated.
But he's also elevated. He's a superstar player, and he has to do that, at the end of the day.
But in Philly's eyes, he was also the most hated by doing the same stuff for the Washington Nationals.
Mm-hmm.
He was the same player
with
the Nationals that he is with the Phillies.
Yeah.
But we're very, once you're our own, you're our own. Yeah. He's always going to be our own. Anybody that plays in Philly is ours forever once you come here. Whether it's a short amount of time or a long period of time. And that's what Kelsey's talking about. Kelsey's going to never pay for a beer ever again in his entire life.
No.
Because he did the things that you do in Philly. You work hard, you play hard, you bust your ass, you don't act like an idiot.
Nope.
And even if you do, Allen Iverson is the greatest thing. Allen acted like an idiot, but what he did, he acted like an idiot to the media, which even endeared him more to the fans.
Exactly.
The media's full of shit.
Exactly.
So Allen acted wrong, but he acted wrong to the right people, if that makes any sense.
Exactly. No, that's brilliant. That's a great point. It's a great point to say. I would just add on this, too. I think of a player like a Patrick Robinson in 2017, right? You're looking at, the Eagles are down 7-0. He, for the most part, was kind of pedestrian, for the entire season. Yeah. Kind of just hanging out. Maybe played a little nickel corner, that kind of deal. He was just one of many in that entire secondary of the Eagles, kind of just be on the radar. He's beloved in the city for one play.
Mm-hmm.
The interception to bring the Eagles back tied the game against the Vikings, and of course we just blew right over. But that one play, though, endears them to the entire city.
But that's what we care about. That
Exactly.
you do your job at the time you're supposed to do your job. People still like Trent Klatt in this city for having a 20-goal season for playing
Heck
for
yeah.
Ross.
Yeah,
Trent
exactly.
Klatt hasn't never had that kind of success ever in his life doing anything else.
Yeah, exactly.
Other than playing with Eric Lindros.
Yep. All right, moving on. Here we go.
So the guys that I see that everybody's going to get crushed at some point. Everybody's going to go through a downturn or be struggling, right? And at all times, the city's going to keep you accountable to be doing your job and performing. But you know, if you stick to it and you fight through it and you get better and everything like that, they'll respect the hell out of you. Especially if you.
I was just going to say, I'll stop the tape right there. Johnny, great example of that is Zach Ertz himself.
Yeah.
Ertz was criticized in 2016 for not like running a route or, you know, against Cincinnati, against the Bengals, for crying out loud. Not against the Cowboys, but against Cincinnati. And it was like kind of just haphazardly kind of going out of bounds. And it was like, are you kidding me? And people got on him.
Yeah, but that's
what happened, you know?
Exactly. But maybe that's what he needed it. Like, that's the thing that I think Kelsey was talking about. Like, you go through your downturns, but Philly's there to check you.
Yeah.
And keep you
honest.
Keep you honest, which is good. And
Which is real good.
Most sports people that like playing here like that about the town.
No doubt. No doubt. All right.
Fight, even if you're struggling and you're fighting and you're really trying, they're still going to respect you. And that's what I think most guys miss. You know, I think that, you know, I really don't think this is a hard place to play at all, to be honest with you. I think a hard place to play is, I don't want to, you know, I think it'd be miserable to play in a place like Jacksonville where nobody cares.
I mean,
stop it right there. That's absolutely true.
Money.
You know, this is wrestling 101. This is everything. Entertainment 101.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter. Like Howard Eskin has taught this. Howard Stern has taught this. Angelo Cataldi has taught this. Joe Rogan is teaching this. This is like the boos are just important as the cheers.
Yeah.
If people aren't watching,
Great point.
it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
No player wants to play in a town where nobody cares.
Yeah.
They'd rather be booed than playing in front of a bunch of people that don't give a shit about them.
I think that's why you see the Miami Dolphins struggles for so many years. They had a passionate fan base because everybody loved the Dolphins, and they go through a down period post Marino. They haven't recovered,
and they're
people
never
are just down there just to see the beach.
They're never going to recover.
No,
there's a lot of teams that had success in the 80s that the boom just changed and people don't live there anymore. So it's very, Cleveland is is a resurgence of that.
Yep.
Because they got taken away, but I think that was why, because they got taken away and then they got brought back. So it was a generational thing.
Yes.
But if you moved Miami out of Miami, would Miami really miss the Dolphins? Probably not.
Probably not now.
Probably not
now.
But you're looking at now, but generationally, maybe if you moved them back in 10 years, maybe the nostalgia.
Yeah.
People are very fickle. People are fickle. Individuals are very smart, but people are fickle.
But yeah, like a Jacksonville Jaguars, that's such a great point that Kelsey brought up, because I mean, again, they don't have, obviously not nearly the history that the Eagles do. Obviously, Eagles being in the 1930s, and Jacksonville was an expansion franchise in the mid to late 90s. You're looking at a very small market team that really, outside of their first 5 years of existence, have done next to nothing in the NFL.
Yeah.
Nothing.
But at least they're trying at this point.
In some ways, yes. Yeah. They got their quarterback, yeah.
It's very interesting because they could build up or they couldn't. You don't know, but seeing his point of view is very interesting. You don't want to play in front of a fan base that's never had a winner and doesn't care.
It doesn't care.
It makes sense. It makes sense.
Totally. Yep. All right.
At 23, 24, 25, or did it take time and experience for you to realize it?
No, I mean, listen, I've only played in one place my whole life, and as I've played in the city, and as you get older, you notice things like that a little bit more. But you look at all the players that Philadelphia holds true to them and who they respect, all the guys that came before you, and they all fit that mold of tough, hard-nosed, physical, try-hard guys. I mean, Vince Papale's a legend here, and he's a special teams guy, but he's a local guy who went out there and freaking, he made the best, he lived the American dream. That's what
Pause it real quick. It's extremely simple. Just run off a bunch of names. Trotter.
Yeah.
Dawkins, Tim Houck.
Yeah. Yeah.
LaShawn McCoy. Deshaun Jackson.
Yeah. Yeah.
John Runyon. Trey Thomas.
Trey Thomas. Yeah.
Bubba Miller.
Yeah.
Kelsey is one of them.
Michael Lewis, I'd even throw up there.
Exactly. Bobby Taylor. Troy Vincent.
Yeah.
Shepard.
Sheldon Brown, for crying out loud.
Sheldon Brown. Like, we love those guys because they showed up. Every fullback that has ever played for the Eagles.
John Ritchie. Yeah. John Ritchie. Yeah.
Every backup guard.
Yeah.
Every tight end.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We like the hard-nosed player. He's absolutely right.
I'm thinking also, too, of like, let's go Phillies real quick. Aaron Rowland. I mean, here's a guy, center field, breaks his freaking face against the center field wall. And he's like, I had to do it. I had to do it to make the out. I mean, you can't ask for anything better than that. I mean, yeah.
Well, see, but you just showed exactly what you can't ask for any more than that.
Can't ask
I'd ask him
better.
not to fucking put it.
Exactly.
You probably should have let that go for a double, bro, and not been out 8 weeks. But
at the same time, that effort was there.
Yeah.
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 All right.
What works in Philly and what doesn't. Is that something you share with young guys when they come in? Because we've all seen guys who never really grasp that.
Well,
They have to learn that on their own.
no, you do try and tell. I mean, anytime somebody's getting crushed in the media, they're going to have a negative reaction instantly. And, I've had my fair share of getting crushed in the city too. But the reality is it's made me better, right? I've probably never been better than, I think there's two parts to it. There's the one that, you can't, trying to think how to say this. First and foremost, the city will love you. The team, more important, don't get me wrong, the city's important to love you. Your team will love you if you're accountable. Your coaches will love you if you're accountable. So you have to know what's real and what's not. We talked about this with Andre Dillard and, how do some guys make it out of live up to their hype or not, right? Knowing what's real, what's not, accountability and understanding, am I doing my job well? When am I not doing my job well? All that stuff. And fans are going to point out when the productivity's not there, when the wins aren't there, when, the stats aren't there, or, when they see just flat out gross errors. And you as a player have to understand, is that my fault? What's going on here? And be accountable to that. And, but the bigger issue with that is, even if you're accountable, you have to understand that it's all correctable and it's all fixable. And you have to realize that this is a blip in time, and that over the course of my career, I write the narrative. I'm the one who decides what this is.
I love that. That was the money quote that went, I'm sure, not on any media's radar.
Oh,
I'm the one that writes the narrative.
Absolutely. No, absolutely.
Money quote, Johnny.
That was by far, it is a blip on the radar. Everything's a blip on the radar.
Yeah.
It's about getting better. It's about improving. It's about sports and anything else. Improving it's being a better version of yourself the next day. And Kelsey gets that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why but that's also real recognizes real.
Yeah, exactly. That's all we're asking, I think, for out of every athlete that performs in the city of Philadelphia, is that they give their all. And when they, if it doesn't work out, we understand that as fans.
It's okay. It's okay to lose.
But it's at the same time, if you're not correcting your errors, if the same mistakes happen over and over and over and over again, and you're not putting in the effort, and you're not understanding how to fix it, and you go and you lash out and you think, oh, well, I want to be more supportive, you'll get your support if you're accountable of what you're doing. Really.
And that's truly like the headline on the thing is he's talking about the Ben Simmons situation. We've talked about this a million times with the Ben Simmons situation.
Yeah.
Is Ben's not willing to take the opportunity in the game. He practices it all. We see all the Instagram and all the we see it all the time. He's practicing hard at doing what he's doing. He just doesn't trust his game to go that way. And that's what the Philly fans are shitting on, and that's what he's butthurt about.
Exactly. Let's roll on here. I love that.
So, I think that's how you control everything. You really think about it like, if I just do this better, if I go out there and ball, if I go out there and play really good, nobody's going to have any choice but to love me or appreciate me as a player. So that's what I tell guys. You write your own narrative. What's going on. I don't want to crush any other player. What's going on with the 76ers, Ben Simmons, stuff like that. All that is because of a lack of accountability, a lack of owning up to mistakes, and a lack of correcting things. If all that got corrected, if you're fixing free throws, if you're getting better as a player, none of this is happening. So everybody can complain about, how tough this city is to play in. Just play better, man. The city.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that ends that right there with that. Like that's just, just be better. He's 100% right.
He's 100% right, and I think that you look at it from Simmons' standpoint. Yeah, okay, you lose that playoff game 7. It sucks. It absolutely sucks, and you're one of the big reasons why.
Yeah, but
even further sucks.
Get in the gym, be better. Just like JoJo
shots in the fourth quarter. Yeah.
JoJo gets more criticized than Ben day in and day out. They've been criticizing Joe since he got drafted. Yeah. He's injury prone. He's too fat. He's too this. Yeah. He's too that. And he's taken every negative thing and turned it into a positive and has been one of the best players in the NBA the whole time. Ben has taken it as boo-boos, and now he's butthurt and he doesn't want to play.
Think about that. A couple years ago, JoJo was interviewed by Shaq, and Shaq was like, look it, dude, you need to dominate. Like, I don't want you to go outside and shoot threes all the time. I want you to get inside and dominate. And the very next night, he kills Boston for like 45 points, I think it was.
But he's taken it all. He's taken every negative.
Yes.
And he's turned into a better. And that's what Kelsey's talking about.
Yeah, and that is
literally
why
you can take Joe and Ben the same way.
Yes.
And just look at it. JoJo's taken every negative connotation and has become a better player than he ever that I think most people didn't think he would be at this level.
Exactly.
And he's not done yet. Like
no, he's only scratching the surface of how great he's
better every game.
Yeah. He'll be Moses like 3.0. That's how great he will be.
Ben's down here not playing because people are challenging him, whether it's the media, the media in Philly sucks. So I totally understand. They don't know what they're talking about. None of them know anything about sports. They're all talking heads.
The average Philly fan, though, knows exactly what's going on.
Way more than the average Philly media.
Exactly.
Okay. Al Morgani.
Yeah.
Al Morgani, Ike Reese, John Marks, John Ritchie, Mark Farzetta. They know a little bit about what they're talking about.
And that kid Tyrone on
Tyrone. They know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
But they're also not the majority.
They're not the majority.
Majority of Missinelli or Gargano that don't know what they're talking about. And they're on the airwaves.
Yeah.
Mad because Ben took a free throw shot.
Yeah. When
the coach is at fault for that, and I'll put this on there because I would love to hear basketball people shit on me for this one. It's the coach's fault for not taking him out of the game.
Yeah.
Because Atlanta was playing Hack-a-Ben
Yeah.
You already learned. What have I said a million times? If you don't learn from history, you're doomed to repeat it.
Doomed to repeat it.
What did Doc Rivers learn?
Yeah.
The history of Hack-a-Shaq. When a dude can't shoot 3 throws, he probably shouldn't be on the floor.
Exactly.
End of story.
End of story.
I've been a coach. I've been a shitty coach. I understand how to be a better coach.
Oh, sure.
You didn't take them out of the game to not give them that ability and only inbound the ball to the guys that can shoot.
Mm-hmm. All of a sudden, those fouls aren't going to happen.
But what those guys want to do, the media wants to do, is they want to shit on Ben so much that the novice sports fan is just, well, Ben sucks.
Well, you know, and the thing of it too, where we're at. The thing of it too, John, with like Missinelli, the thing of it too with Missinelli was like he wanted to go down, you know, to the, I guess it was the Sixers practice after the practice, and Missinelli was going to go and confront Simmons. How come you're not shooting in the fourth quarter?
Who the fuck is Mike Missinelli?
And Missinelli couldn't make it. So it's like, come on, you weren't going down there to confront Simmons. You know that.
That's all bullshit.
Yeah, it's BS. Come on.
To be honest, like tweet that out, Mike Missinelli, because you get knocked the fuck out if you actually did it. Mike Missinelli's a fake tough guy that's been in sports media for entirely too long.
Yeah.
He's too old and he's too senile to know anything about what the fuck he's talking about. And he's holding back a dude like Tyrone that could run a show probably 10 times better than him.
That kid, I'll tell you, that you're right. Strap a rocket to him, man. He's going to shoot for the stars. He's like the next biggest star there.
But I understand why he's dealing with Mike Missinelli, because Mike Missinelli's been in the game for a while.
No, sure.
You can learn a thing or two from that dude. But he's a senile piece of shit. As long as I don't care what he has to say.
Yeah.
He's dumber than Angelo Cataldi.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I think too. You know, you're thinking about.
I'll fight you, Mike Missinelli, in a ring for charity.
I would pay pay-per-view money for that.
I will literally fight you. I would love to. I'm a little younger than you. I'll give you odds.
Johnny, one thing I wanted, like, also, I think this spins forward too with hockey a little bit too. If you think about it, like Voracek is a great example of a player.
Yeah, Voracek could have been the best right winger that
in 20 years.
This city's ever seen. He had a very...
He's in the last 20, 25 years.
He had a very great understanding of the ice, but it turns out he didn't work as hard.
No.
He relied on his talent a lot, but that you can name them. But what? Here's the thing. The fact that Philly media doesn't know anything about hockey other than Jason Martinez, who I love. And Elmer Ganny, they were saying the whole time that Voracek was the problem, but Drew wasn't. But all the media was running on Drew that Drew was the problem.
Yeah,
it's the same exact thing. Exactly.
But Voracek was worse in his defensive zone. He was terrible.
Yeah, he's such a good offensive player, but maybe he's just an offensive player.
Yeah,
and that's also coaching and general managing.
Right.
When a team wins, it's everybody. When a team fails, it's everybody. And media doesn't allow that concept to happen. It's the same thing with every company. Everybody's accountable for a company failing.
Yeah.
All the way down to the janitor to the CEO. Like, if a company fails, someone along the lines didn't correct the problem in which the ball was dropped.
Exactly.
That's everybody. That's
a great point.
Everything's a team thing. So if a team doesn't succeed, if Voracek doesn't succeed, I blame half of it on the coaching and half of it on Voracek. Or like 25 on the coaches, 25 on the conditioning coach, 25 on the players.
Good guy.
Because why the hell weren't someone cornering Voracek, Captain Claude Giroux, going, you could be so much better if you would.
Yeah.
But that's also the way of the world.
It is. Yeah, it is.
Nobody wants to speak up anymore. Nobody wants to. Everybody's so into their iPhone that they don't even care about their neighbor anymore.
That's why accountability is so important. Not only just in sports, but in anything, really. You have to be held accountable. You have to know, hey, okay, if I've dropped the ball, okay, I got to pick it up, do better, that kind of stuff. You know?
It's a lost art.
It is. It is.
It really is.
But you will be loved when you bounce back. That's why the Philly fans have that reputation.
Sports-wise, you absolutely be loved.
Sports-wise,
Politically, probably not, but
Yeah,
sports-wise, you'll totally be loved.
exactly.
You totally be loved.
So that kind of bleeds a little bit into our happy segment, of course, like with everything with Kelsey and everything like that. So we kind of combine those two. Stop the bait, happy. We'll throw that in together for this week. So Johnny, that kind of wraps up our episode here, episode 55 of Two Noobs.
We did it.
We did it. We did it, man. I mean, I know
God bless Matt for trying to edit this to get this out on Wednesday.
It's gonna be a long Tuesday night. Let me tell you. No, okay.
I've got everything. I got everything handled on my end to drop it and get it back quick.
There you go. There you go.
And I've been on the road, guys. So if you're seeing this on Thursday, it's meant for Wednesday. But we love everybody for listening anyway.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. But let's hit them up with our socials, Johnny, as we always do.
We are on Facebook, Instagram. We are not on Twitter because Twitter sucks. We are on TikTok. We do as many short videos as we can to get us to our primary channel,
which is, of course, located on YouTube, and that is the Two Noobs Talking Podcast. Love it if you like, share, and subscribe to our videos. Helps get the word out faster. We've been loving our views, obviously, over the last year, and we're on the year 2, so hopefully we can continue that momentum. On the audio side, Johnny.
We are hosted by Podbean. We are on Apple Podcast, Google Podcast. We are Googleable. Thanks, Steve, for making me keep saying that. I was actually making a joke with my wife during dinner about that. We're Googleable. It's a word. Everybody has to put it in your dictionary.
Love it.
We're Googleable. Two Noobs Talking, Googleable. We're on iHeartRadio. We're on Spotify, but that just absolutely blows. So don't go there.
I gotta find like the Spotify logo and then like either a circle with a line through it or the poopy logo maybe on top of it. Maybe that's what I'll do.
Or just not put it on the podcast.
Or just not put it on.
Sucks. Yeah. Like even the logo sucks. Like the whole company
exactly.
sucks.
Well, you're big tech. What
I
else
hate
do you do?
you, Spotify. Hate you. Get a new logo. Get a new CEO. Get a new way of doing things. How about this? Just go away. And then that's what you should do, Spotify.
Love it.
You suck that bad. Just go away.
Love it. And of course, like on our show notes, you can find us there at twonoobstalking.wordpress.com. If you enter in your email address and hit enter, you will not get Steve's Dick Rocket t-shirt, which we're launching, and we've for $20.
It's on Facebook. We will put it back up again.
We'll put it up there, absolutely. But the show notes will show up in your inbox the next day when you enter in your email address. So there you go. So that wraps it up, Johnny. It's as always, it's great to be able to spend some time with you, talk some stuff, and shit on Fauci and love on Kelsey, and gotta love it. So, got anything final to say before we get out of here?
First of all, my microphone broke, so I'm holding it. But just so we can end this, let's go, Brandon.
There you go. There you go. Talk to you all next week, guys. Take care.
This country was founded by geniuses, but it's being run by a bunch of idiots. Why do the members of the United States Senate continue to double down on stupid?